Let us begin with the moment Piccolo died. Piccolo had a power stated to be 3,500 or thereabouts in the guides. Interestingly, in many chapters later, King Kai mentions to Goku, who is headed to Namek, that he has some guests on his planet, which is Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu. Interestingly, they cleared Snake away quicker than Goku, and wanted training even tougher than what Goku received. 10 days to fix the nameless Namekian ship, 30ish days in some guides for Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma to get to Namek. Goku left Earth, which took 6 days. Either way, we aren't even looking at 2 months worth, I don't think, which is awesome speed for Piccolo and the others to get to King Kai. Secondly, we must note, King Kai says they want training, which implies they haven't had any yet. It's just been the traveling to get there. What's crazy is that Piccolo tells Goku he will have enough power soon and be even stronger than him, and they'll have no trouble stopping Frieza. Now at this moment, I just want to say that Piccolo is known for new levels of power getting to his head. This is Piccolo Jr. by the way, not the Piccolo Nail Kami fusion, just good old Piccolo Jr. I think this was all a front, a boast, but then again, this is Piccolo. Perhaps he is confident in his potential. So Piccolo, we could say, was training with King Kai for approximately 6 days, as he was later revived on pretty much the same day Goku arrived on Namek. Now we see Frieza take on Nail, with Nail being stated that his power level was 42,000. Frieza states his power level of 530,000, which Nail reacts to, and you can see his face, with concern, and tells me as a reader he knows the difference in the power. Let's be honest, he experiences his power as well, and gets destroyed. Now this is where it gets interesting even more, because the moment before Piccolo gets revived, he is speaking to Gohan and states the following: I want to fight. I want to fight on my home world against Frieza, who slaughtered my people. Now, first of all, this dialogue shows passion and care for his people. It's called a warrior's pride, no matter how hopeless the situation. Fight until there's nothing left inside, for the right cause. This doesn't mean he will win, but he straight away follows up with, I've gained great power in the underworld and I will defeat him. Take me there. Now we need to consider Piccolo's ego at this point. I do not doubt in the slightest that he obtained power in 6 days at King Kai's. He did. It must have been some intense training session. Piccolo did indeed get stronger, and perhaps a little more than he thought. Would this affect his confidence in being able to take and defeat Frieza at this stage? I think the power amp would play with his confidence a little. Heck, even arrogance. Like I said, this is Piccolo Jr. He's prone to being a cocky dude in battle if he's stronger. It's further backed up when he's revived and goes towards Nail, and after he and Nail fuse, Piccolo reacts to the new bulk of power, and that says it all. This is power, I can win this, no matter who the opponent may be, and he flies off, laughing. Typical Piccolo Jr. Look, all I'm saying is, it's clear Piccolo gets ahead of himself before testing out the opponent and seeing their real power. He's in the moment of his own glory. Now why am I discussing that? It's because we can't instantly assume he's close to Frieza's 530,000 before fusing with Nail. There are tons of factors. But how do we gauge his power before this moment? He's totally digging the fact he can win with Nail compared to the power he thought he had previous. There is no information stating if Piccolo is stronger than Nail. All that's said is Nail saying that he's obtained unbelievable power, and it can be inferred that he's obtained unbelievable power in relation to what he was before. It doesn't necessarily mean Piccolo had surpassed Nail, but it's hinting it could have been. That's debatable. But we know from the dialogue that Piccolo and Nail both know they aren't at Frieza's power. Nowhere near that 530,000. And by this point, both of them know the feeling of that power because Piccolo sensed it when he arrived on Namek. But he still flew towards the raging Frieza anyway. And to me, Piccolo's either totally insane for doing this, or he's going to protect Gohan because he cares for him, or he does have some sort of plan because he would be a bit of an idiot to ask to get revived for the sake of the Dragon Balls, only to fly aimlessly towards a power he knew he couldn't overcome. So to me, this decision to fly towards Frieza, where if he was too strong, he could have used a plan B and escaped somehow to use the Earth's Dragon Balls later, unless at this point Piccolo's passion for the dying Namekians was too strong and he had this massive urge to fight Frieza until death. Perhaps he even used the Dragon Balls excuse to get him revived quicker. We know Piccolo to be a bit of a liar to get what he wants. I feel based on who Piccolo is, he did indeed get a huge boost. Heck, maybe even 10 times of what he was on Earth. And that played on his confidence. But I think the biggest clue to know roughly where Piccolo's power lays is in his reaction to Frieza's power. His face says it all when he arrived on Namek. Let's say Piccolo was half of Frieza's strength. This face of Piccolo's wouldn't be the face of someone detecting double the power. Piccolo has fought guys triple his power in the past. This face is telling me, as a reader, that Piccolo is sensing Frieza's power to be monstrous compared to his own. Absolutely monstrous. Maybe even 10 times of his. If I had to make any sort of guess, I would say Piccolo was actually closer to Nail's power than we think. give or take a few thousand. But if Piccolo didn't have the power to beat Frieza head on, what was his plan? How did he expect to kill Frieza knowing his own power and wanting to be wished back? Well guys, we know exactly what Piccolo is capable of. Let's go back to the Saiyan saga where we saw something very interesting about battle power, and that is his special beam cannon, when focused, makes his battle power much higher, and judging by Saiyan saga power levels, 1330 for the special beam cannon divided by his fighting power of 408 gives approximately 3.2 increase in power. I had this one theory that Piccolo had an ace up his sleeve in story terms, and that was to perform another replica of his special beam cannon against a held Frieza, if that could have ever happened. Piccolo had no knowledge of Frieza's anatomy. Little did Piccolo know that Frieza can survive being sliced up, so this tactic would have fallen flat straight away if he tested it. But the fact that he had the capability to basically triple his battle power for one move gave him this fighting chance in his own head. Let's say for example that Piccolo managed to supercharge his special beam cannon and launch it at the same power as Frieza's 530,000. We could divide that by 3 roughly to give us approximately 170,000 for Piccolo's fighting power. But this doesn't feel right to me. Could Piccolo have had 170,000 after King Kai's training? Would it even be possible for him to gain an approximate 48 times increase in strength in 6 days? It seems crazy because that would mean he's near the power of Goku when he displayed his power against Ginyu, and this is Goku who trained with King Kai for months, fought Vegeta, Zenkai boosts, trained in 100 gravity. Piccolo can't possibly be at Goku's level now on Namek, unless this 6-day training was a bigger ass pull than Resurrection F. Just kidding, nothing beats that. But we know Saiyan versus Namekian potential. We know this from examples of time chamber training. Goku and Piccolo both go into the time chamber in the Cell games, and Goku way surpasses Piccolo. At that point in Dragon Ball Z, it was the nature of the game. Saiyans had the training potential. I do not believe Piccolo was anywhere near 170,000 on Namek before Nail. I feel Piccolo knew Frieza was going to be a handful. But let's just say Piccolo was Nail's level. His special beam cannon would give him approximately 126,000 as a battle power, and I feel this would have been more in the right scale of Piccolo's power. A huge increase, but still shocked at feeling Frieza's monstrous power upon arriving, realizing he's in big trouble now, realizing the truth. I do have this feeling that Nail was insinuating that if the similar level of power Piccolo had fought Frieza, he would end up on the floor beaten up like him. That is all I'm able to gather regarding Piccolo pre-Nail fusion. Whatever the case, 6 days on King Kai's to get to the level of Nail is an insane jump. In my opinion, Piccolo was all hype and was all emotional about the murdered Namekians. First form Frieza would have crushed him if they fought like that. But there's no denying Piccolo's potential is incredible, even if he fell short of Nail's power after just 6 days with King Kai. Unless he drank some magic juice on Snake Way. Can't think of much else.
Oh yeah, power creeps.